if you're watching this video, you're probably really curious about shamanic drumming. You're curious about drum circles. You're curious about how to put one together yourself. Maybe you've been to a few of them and it's been really awesome. Like you love the music, you love the drumming, you really find it exciting and you want to share this with other people, and you're trying to figure out like, where do you start? How do you set it all up and all that good stuff? So I'm actually doing a drum circle here in my home today. So I've thought, why not? Why not share all like the practical tips that sometimes we just think, oh, it's gonna work, and then we actually sit down to physically do it and we're like, wait a minute, do I have everything? What am I gonna talk about? How am I gonna do this? What music do I need? Like all this good stuff. So I really just wanted to come to you and break it down very simply to what I've done and what I really enjoy. So share all the different practical pieces with you, all the little things that you need, because shamanism is an interesting thing. It's like, it's very much connected to nature. It's very much connected to, simplicity and getting back to your roots and connecting to yourself, to nature. But it also has a lot of little things, right? It has the drum, it has the rattle, it has the feathers. So, and those things are all fun. Those are ways that we can connect to nature. And by the way, I just found 2 beautiful feathers the other day. So I was like, wow, that's great. Beautiful messages from our angels, from our higher selves. So if you find feathers, that's a really exciting thing as well. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, side note. My name is Marie and welcome to this channel. I'm so happy that you're here and I'm so happy that you're interested in what I'm about to share with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all the different pieces and how I think about it. And then I'm going to build the actual drum circle here and I will film it. I'll show you. And, obviously you replace everything with what you have and what you can do. And that's it. Like we keep it simple and then we just kind of keep on building on it. So maybe you've taken a few shamanic classes, maybe you are like doing drum circles and this is still helpful for you to get new ideas and new tips, right? Because we share, we grow, we learn. Like that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in life, is that you can never learn enough. Like there's just so much to learn from everyone, right? So let's build a drum circle together. So what we want to think about, I think number one for me is, where is my state of being? So as I was dropping my kid off this morning and then driving home, trying to get myself, kind of stabilized and in tune so that I can run this circle, I started thinking about, where am I? And these little beautiful reminders are so good. Like, where am I in my frequency? What do I need to do to get to a place where I can hold other people in this beautiful circle together, where we can share, where we can learn, where we can grow together? So I would say that's your number one focus, figuring out where you are and what you need to do to get into a state where you can hold other people and yourself on this journey, right? So whatever that means for you, if it means sitting down and taking a few deep breaths, if it means meditating, in my case, it meant doing the practical things also. Like I prepared a fire back here. I haven't lit it yet because it's a little bit early, but I cleaned out the fireplace. I like scrubbed the glass, it's like the chop wood, carry water type of thing, where like by doing it, you're also mentally and like emotionally preparing yourself. I also started lighting some candles. I bought some flowers yesterday, right? So you kind of just, you get ready, right? You're preparing yourself, and that's super important. And what you also want to be doing, and what I think is nice to do, is to do a little prayer beforehand, before the people show up. Please allow this to be for the highest good, for everyone, for humanity, for everybody that's showing up, and for myself, right? Whatever needs to happen on this circle, whatever needs to be brought forth, bring it forth, and allow everyone to have peace, happiness, and love when they leave, right? So just doing a beautiful prayer. So that's kind of the preparations, right? Then you want a decent space. So today we're going to be only 4 people here, which is fine. But you just kind of, put together the pieces that you need. It's nice to have something to sit on, right? I like to sit on the floor with my bare feet on the floor when I'm doing it. So I usually bring like little yoga cushions, or pillows. You can do whatever you have at home. So I'm sitting on a yoga cushion right now, and it's kind of nice because it allows you to be grounded, centered. Your spine is straight, your kundalini is open, that kind of stuff, right? And then what I'm going to start by doing next is I'm going to set up the circle. So I'm going to put this beautiful plant in the middle, and then I have candles and, you know, something like this, right? And they come in, I have them in different patterns and colors. So I'm going to create, and I'll show you later, I'm going to create a pattern where it's pointing to the north, south, east, and west, because we know in shamanism, we're calling in those different 4 directions, and we're specifically speaking to the different animals that are in those directions. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to put some crystals in there, right? Whatever you have at home is totally fine. And this happens to be an amethyst, and I love this. We've had this in our house for a long time, so it's very powerful. I actually cleansed it yesterday. I'm also going to share some Aqua de Floridia, and if you don't have that, you know, you can order that online. It's really beautiful because what you do, and I'll show you, you have to open up the bottle, you put a little bit in your hand like this, right? And then you go like this and you breathe it in. And you can kind of go around your body, right? And you can breathe it in. And it puts you into a state where it's really beautiful to receive. So I really absolutely love that. What I also have here is a rattle that I bought from somebody that I made drums with. So I haven't made this myself, but he made it. And it's really beautiful. I love the sound of it. So the rattle and the drum, which I have here also, I just built one the other day, and look how beautiful this thing is, right? So first of all, I started seeing animals in this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Like my mother saw a buffalo, you know, like you have the 2 horns here, and this is kind of the face. I saw a rabbit, and I don't remember how I saw the rabbit. Oh yeah, the rabbit is like, it has its face here and its 2 ears here, kind of, yeah, so it's in profile. But I built this just the other weekend because I felt like I needed another drum. This is what it looks like in the back, and this is deer, and it has a really beautiful sound. Now I forgot my drum thing over there, but you can tell how it's very, you know, light. So we're each in the drum circle gonna have 1 drum each. I'm gonna put on some music in the background, and then we're going to drum and chant and sing together. So those are sort of big pieces for me. Another thing that can be important in a healing circle, a drum circle, is to have, you know, the feathers. These you can use to, I will also use some sage, and so you use that to kind of diffuse the, did you guys hear that? The sound came in through our chimney, like a kind of a wind. I made this myself with feathers that I found in the forest, and I used that to diffuse and infuse people. You can kind of shake it over people to kind of clear emotions, clear thoughts, clear things as you're going through the circles. So practically speaking, the way I do it is we sit down and we share a little bit of what's going to happen, because a lot of times people don't know what's going to happen when they show up in a drum circle. Some people have been here before, some people haven't, right? So you kind of share what's going to happen. Then maybe you turn on some background music and you encourage people to start drumming. And it doesn't really have to be in a specific way. Like people just go in and out of their drumming in the way that they feel is comfortable. You can also speak or say things, as you can kind of bring in different colors, different crystals. You can bring in, you know, different channelings as this is happening throughout the circle. And so it's kind of free for all. And you can also set an intention beforehand where you say, you know, today we're going to work on healing our inner child. We're going to work on our pain body. We're going to work on raising our frequency, whatever it is, right? So you start to talk about that. What I also then find to be the most beautiful part about a drum circle is the sharing stick. So in the end of the circle, everybody gets to share. And the person who's holding it is the person who's actually sharing. Everyone else is fully receiving, not asking any questions, just fully receiving what this person is saying. And when they're done, they say, "Oh," and they give it over to the next person, right? So it's a really beautiful way of kind of finishing that that cycle, finishing the drumming, integrating it, and allowing to share. And what I've found when I've sit in drum circles is that what other people are sharing very much applies to me as well. I've heard other people say the same thing. So it's almost like it's a divine intervention. We're all brought together and we're all allowed to share, and it's sort of, we're together, so it applies to all of us. So it's really quite amazing. So what I wanted to do next was to actually start building that circle on the floor in my living room here, and then film it for you guys as it progresses, show you what it looks like in the end, and then just kind of, so you get a feel for what you can do. And I'm sure I went to a place and I bought like a bunch of candle holders, right? And so you do what feels good for you. And then if you have any questions, obviously leave them below this video. If you have any thoughts, if you have any input, like, oh, hey, you can do it this way. Like, I would love that, because it's so much fun for us to share and do this. And again, this is a very practical video, but sometimes we get caught in that. Like, we kind of tune into all the higher energies, but then on our practical human level, we're like, how do I do that? Like, how do I ask people? So that's another thing, right? So if you want to run your first drum circle, maybe you feel too uncomfortable to invite a bunch of people that you don't know. So I would suggest try on people that people that maybe have taken shamanism classes with you, or people that are in your community that are spiritual and are interested in trying something new. So try with a safe group of people so that you feel safe, so they feel safe, so you can fully hold this container for them. That's what I would suggest. So anyway, that's another side note, but yeah, and feel free to have fun, try things out. Don't be scared of failing, because there is no such thing. Don't be afraid of what's going to happen, because you're more than capable of holding it. And, it's just going to be an adventure into life, and an adventure of what we can experience and what we can do. So, okay, now I'm going to start building the circle. Even the dog is curious. So these are that's actually north, going in that direction. So this is how I set it up. You see the crystals, you see the feathers, and you see the participants. It's going to be pillows around here. And my dog is very, very curious. He's licking my drum right now. See? So now that I'm done setting up my circle, I'm pretty much ready for my guests. We're going to be serving hot cacao also, as a medicine. And I also just wanted to mention that in shamanism, we always include all the elements, right? So you have the aqua de floridia that I showed you, that you rub on your hands, and that's kind of representing water, right? You have the plant representing earth, that has the dirt in it. You have the fire, obviously all the candles, and I'm also going to be lighting a fire back there if it's not too hot. And then you have air, the feathers, right? So, and also the air that's moving around all the candles. So it's really beautiful. Obviously the sharing stick is also of the earth. The drum is of the earth, so all these beautiful things are combined in a lovely drumming ceremony. And then you also have the music, which moves through the air. So there's just so much beauty that happens, and it's also a way of kind of creating rituals for ourselves. Rituals for mankind has been a way of really deepening our connection with ourselves and with our ancestry, with our future, with the now. So really taking the time in your busy schedule to create rituals, to create drum circles, to create things that make you happy, that make you connect, that also opens up something new. And this is something that has been coming in for me a lot lately, is try something new, right? To really embrace what you don't know, really tune into something that can potentially be really exciting and change the way you look at everything. So try out something new. And if you don't have any drums at home, you've never been to a drum circle, you don't know what I'm talking about, like, sign up for one in your local community. A lot of times they have cacao ceremonies or a drum circle. They have drums and rattles to share, so you can go there without owning any of the stuff that I just showed you and just experience what it's like. I think this comes down to experience, like actually experiencing what it's like to be in this drum circle and how it makes you feel. And I just wanted to leave on a reminder to you. First time I showed up to a drum circle, there was a shamanic woman there, and we started talking. And I looked into her eyes after the drum circle, and I was like, you have really, really beautiful eyes. You know, those kind of eyes that just kind of go all the way back into the universe, all the way to the depth of the seas. And she looked into my eyes and she said, yeah, so do you. And then she said, and this isn't the first time we're meeting in this lifetime. It might be the first time, but it's not the first time. And now I'm getting shivers. But that's something about shamanic work and rituals as well, is that this is not the first time we're gathering around the fire, so to speak, to drum, to tune into energies, to connect with nature, to connect with ourselves. We've done it for many, many, many lifetimes. And you're here now, so you can remember what it's like to do this. And you can enjoy it with your fellow people who you met before and create a soul connection in this lifetime that's going to make you very, very happy. So, lots of love. Namaste.